my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chevam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Udirate Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtike कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो पंकजनाभाय नमो पंकजमालिने नमो पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकज आंग्रे. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 8, The Churning of the Milk Ocean, verse 34 to 46. Text 34. This person was Dhanvantri, a plenary portion of Lord Vishnu. He was very conversant with the science of medicine, and as one of the demigods, he was permitted to take a share in sacrifice. Text 35. Upon seeing Dhanvantri carrying the jug of nectar, the demons, desiring the jug and its contents, immediately snatched it away by force. Text 36. When the jug of nectar was carried off by the demons, the demigods were morose. Thus they sought shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. Text 37. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always desires to fulfill the ambition of his devotees, saw that the demigods were morose, he said to them, "Do not be aggrieved. By my own energy, I shall bewilder the demons by creating a quarrel among them. In this way, I shall fulfill your desire to have the nectar." Text 38. O king, a quarrel then arose among the demons over who would get the nectar first. Each of them said, "You cannot drink it first. I must drink it first. Me first, not you." Text 39-40. Some of the demons said, "All the demigods have taken part in churning the ocean of milk. Now, as everyone has an equal right to partake in any public sacrifice according to the eternal religious system, it is befitting that the demigods now have a share of the nectar. O king, in this way, the weaker demons forbade the stronger demons to take the nectar." Text 41-46. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, who can counteract any unfavorable situation, then assumed the form of an extremely beautiful woman. This incarnation as a woman, Mohini Murti, was most pleasing to the mind. Her complexion resembled in color a newly grown blackish lotus, and every part of her body was beautifully situated. Her ears were equally decorated with earrings. Her cheeks were very beautiful. Her nose was raised and her face full of youthful luster. Her large breast made her waist seem very thin. Attracted by the aroma of her face and body, bumblebees hummed around her, and thus her eyes were restless. Her hair, which was extremely beautiful, was garlanded with malika flower. Her attractively constructed neck was decorated with a necklace and other ornament. Her arms were decorated with bangles, her body was covered with clean sari, and her breast seemed like an island in an ocean of beauty. Her legs were decorated with ankle bells because of the movement of her eyebrow as she smiled with shyness and glanced over the demons. All the demons were saturated with lusty desires, and every one of them desired to possess her. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Pratyush Prabhu, for reading the verses. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you Sundaran Prabhu for giving the opportunity. I'll start with prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashilakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvatamscha नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we're continuing with the churning of the milk ocean pastime, and this is the last few verses of this chapter. So now who has appeared is Sri Dhanvantari. So we saw in the previous couple of verses about about the description of Dhanvantari, like how he looked and how was his physical appearance. So it is mentioned that he was very strong. He had strong build. His arms were long, stout, and strong. And he was very young. He was garlanded with flowers. He was the color. He was a blackish color. He had yellow garments, and he had very good features. He was decorated with bangles in his bangles, and he was he had earrings made of pearls, and he was carrying a jug filled with nectar. And now it is explained here that this person was Dhanvantari. So even Sri Madhvacharya remarks that and Dhanvantari, he was the planetary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Madhvacharya says that although he was very strong, the asuras were able to take the jug of nectar from his hands. So again, this is a pastime of the Lord. So the this he was this Dhanvantari. He was uh, he's a god of medicine, Ayurveda, and he let the asuras take the jug of nectar from his hands. And then so then the demigods, because because the demons carried the jug away from him, away from Dhanvantari, they were very morose, and they sought shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. So here we can understand that the demons will do anything to get whatever they want for sense gratification. So there was no civic sense, for the demons didn't like ask Dhanvantari, can you please give us this nectar? Can you please, um, give this to us? We want this. And we worked hard for this churning of the ocean, like that. Like they didn't plead, request, or even ask Dhanvantari about this pot of nectar. They just snatched it away. So this is one of the qualities of the demons that we see, that they will do anything and anything to satisfy their senses. um, and then even after they snatched it, what happened is they started quarreling with each other. They said, the stronger demons, they said that you cannot drink it first, I want to drink it first, like that. So like that, there was a quarrel, and Prabhupada says in the purport that this is a symptom of the demons. That they will regularly compete, fight, disagree, or um, or have a war. They will create situations like warlike situations, or they will disagree, and they will fight, and they will have arguments. So these are all symptoms of demons, because they want to enjoy their own senses, they want to satisfy their own senses. And this is the difference between devotees and non-devotees. The devotee is always wanting to um, satisfy the senses of the Lord. You know, um, they want to do everything for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, whereas the demons they want to do everything for their own personal sense gratification. And if uh, so that is why the Lord is always looking to satisfy the devotees, because the devotees is always trying to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when the demigods were very morose, what they did was they approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like Krishna said that, "Do not be aggrieved by my own energy. I shall bewilder the demons by creating a quarrel among them. In this way, I shall fulfill their desire to have the nectar." So Krishna assured the demigods that I will take care of the situation. Do not be morose. And uh, so that is the qualification of the demigods. So the demigods will not try to again create a war-like situation. They will try to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrender, and surrender everything, and surrender um, and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is what the demigods did. And uh, so the yeah, and that is what the demigods did. And even when the demons were fighting about who will take the nectar first, the demons who were weaker, they basically stopped, or they basically tried to stop the stronger demons to take the nectar. And they said that even the demigods have taken part in the churning of the ocean of milk, so everyone has equal rights. So actually, the weaker demons were weaker. They couldn't fight with the stronger demons. So that's why, in when they mention, when they mention the names of the demigods, they actually wanted the nectar for themselves. It's not that they were very pure, or they were they had this kind of sense that oh, everybody should get it, because everybody worked hard for it, but actually they wanted a share for it themselves. So that's why, when we see in this world as well, like, whoever is fighting for equal rights, whoever is fighting for equality, those kind of things, they also want something for themselves. They also have some intention, some selfish motives, uh, and that they want to fulfill, and that's why uh, they are they say that, okay, we should have equality, there should be equality, there should be equal rights for everybody, so everybody should take a chance, everybody should get an opportunity, everybody should get a chance. So that is what the less strong demons did, the weaker demons or weaker daityas did. And then this way there was disagreement and trouble, in terms of like who will drink the nectar amongst the demons. And then what we see is, Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, he assumed the form of an extremely beautiful woman, and this was an incarnation of the Lord in a incarnation as a woman, known as Mohini Murti, and she was extremely pleasing to the eyes. She was wearing a beautiful sari. Her the color of her her complexion was blackish, was like a newly grown blackish lotus. Her ears were decorated with earrings. Her cheeks were very beautiful. Her nose was raised. She was full of youth. She was very youthful. Her hair was extremely beautiful, and she was garlanded with mallika flowers, and and she was decorated with bangles. Um, and she also smiled with shyness, and she glanced over the demons, and the demons were really very lusty for her, and they desired to possess her. So we see that Lord Krishna, like he is incarnated in various different forms, and uh, in different situations. So we've seen like Krishna appeared as Nashingadev, and it was a very unusual form when he appeared as Nashingadev, half man, half lion. Nobody had seen that form before. Even Brahma was surprised, but actually Krishna appeared in that form to keep uh, uh, the thing, the words of Lord Brahma, because Lord Brahma had blessed Hiranyakashipu that he will not be killed by anybody, like this or that, nor human nor animal, like that. So Krishna kept his word and his promise, and he appeared in that form. And then we see Krishna can appear in various different forms. Even Lord Varaha, he appeared like that to save Mother Earth. So uh, and Vaman Dev, like he appears in various different incarnations. So like that, he appeared as Mohini Murti here. Even Lord Krishna even appeared as a sari, when Draupadi was disrobed in the assembly. And she called out to him, so he appeared as a sari. So it should not be very surprising that, excuse me, that Krishna, took the form of a woman. Um, Even in one of the in Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrit, there is a story about how somebody attacked Srila Prabhupada in New York when he was during the earlier days. Um, I forget the person's name, but he attacked Srila Prabhupada, and he was intoxicated, completely intoxicated. He didn't know, and he attacked, and Srila Prabhupada was living with him, and he did not have, when he attacked Srila Prabhupada, he did not have anywhere else to go. He didn't have any other alternative. So Prabhupada was out in the streets, and he didn't know where to go, where to turn, whether to go left or whether to go right, whether to go straight. Like it was all new for him. It was a new situation, new country. He didn't know anybody. And then who Srila Prabhupada met I mean, later he became Mukunda. It's either Krishna, he appears in different forms to save uh, the devotees from their situation, or he sends somebody, or um, even he sends somebody to rescue the devotee, to rescue the situation. So it's uh, it's so we should always take shelter of Srila Prabhupada, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Srila Prabhupada's books, because even the books are, Krishna can be revealed from Srila Prabhupada's books. There was one story about this book distribution story, that how this devotee revealed that Srila Prabhupada's a book actually saved her marriage. Her marriage was it was a very difficult marriage, and they were almost on the brink of a divorce. And this Mataji, this lady, she was not a devotee at the time, but when she was out on the street, and she saw devotees distributing books, and the Ishopanishad book really attracted her. The cover of Ishopanishad book really attracted her, because she saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu in his forearms. And she had never seen any personality with forearms. So she was very attracted and she bought that book, and she came home, and to her surprise, even her husband had bought the same book, Ishopanishad, that very same day. Probably he must have met the same devotee, but he also purchased the same book. And when they saw that, they both purchased, they both had a similar liking, they both thought that, there is at least some common ground between them. There's still something that is common between them. So they, their marriage eventually worked out. They both became devotees, and now they are now they're both devotees in the moment. So basically, just by, Srila Prabhupada's books, it saves a lot of situations for us. So we should take shelter of the, we never know what will, how we will be, um, how we'll be rescued from our situation just by reading. It might sound um, a little lofty in that sense, but you never know how Krishna might appear. So Krishna can appear in our mind. Krishna can appear in, in the words of Srila Prabhupada, in his purport, and he can guide us. He can, instruct us. He can, pacify our minds. Whatever situation that we're going through, he can pacify it. He can change our perspective. He can do many different things. So he does not really have to appear in a form in front of us. He can appear through other people, through another devotee, or things like that. Another pastime of Srila Prabhupada was, Srila Prabhupada had written many. This was in Delhi. He had written many. This was before he came to the U.S. He had written many, like articles. He had written magazines, Back to Godhead magazines, but he was publishing magazines, but he had not published any books. And a sweeper told Srila Prabhupada, why don't you write books? Magazines, people just throw it away, after because they see that there is a date on it, or for whatever reason, right? I mean, magazines, people don't keep it, but books, people keep. So Srila Prabhupada really liked that, and he took it to his heart, and he thought that it made sense. So he started writing books. So we see that, like, again, like, Lord Krishna can just instruct us in any form, through anybody, and help us deal with that situation. So um, so yeah, this is, so then we will see, like, how, in the next chapter, what happens after, after Mohini after Mohini Murti appeared, and what she did. But yeah, this is what I had for today. I'll pause it here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sundaran Prabhu, if you have anything else, please feel free to add. I don't know.
Mate. Yeah, thank you so much, Mate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.